Becoming an art teacher never crossed my mind when I was little. I always thought I was going to be a doctor or a veterinarian. But at a very young age, I knew I wanted to help people. I am a very caring person, and I always try to help others. So going into a career when I'm making impact on people's lives was important to me. I never thought how all these characteristics describe what a teacher does every day. You might ask, what changed my mind? Why did I choose a career path that was completely different from what I wanted to do when I was little? When you teach, you are helping children develop and express themselves. You are helping your students find who they are. When I was going through school, I became aware I was a creative thinker. I liked to do crafts and art activities when growing up, but I did not realize my true talent and passion I had for art until I was a junior in high school. In high school, I would always sign up for different art classes just to get my credits for my electives, but I ended up falling in love with them. During my senior year, I took 5 different art classes. I was always excited to go to them, but I did not have that same excitement when going to my social studies or science classes. I was more engaged and interested in art. My teachers made art meaningful to me. They inspired me. I feel like I could be myself because of the environment they provided for me. But most importantly, all my art teachers, they challenged me. They pushed me to become a better thinker, a better problem solver. They made me think more creatively and outside the box. Having my art teachers challenge me made me the person I am today. I used to be that one student who sat in the back of the classroom who never talked. But my art classes changed that for me. I became more confident in talking in front of others and sharing my thoughts because of the environment that my teachers provided for me. Art was the only class in high school where you could truly express yourself and find what you're interested in. If I did not take those different art classes, like drawing, ceramics, or design with materials, I can tell you right now, I would not be the person I am today. The way that the art curriculum was taught was very different comparing to the other subjects. In the art curriculum, we were given a main idea to focus on. But this main idea was very vague, so you could research what you wanted to learn about. The main idea prompts took me a while to get used to, but I still remember a prompt that was given to me in my Design with Materials class. It was very open, and we had to create an art piece that represented growth. Since this was a multimedia class, the supplies were not limiting. For my project, I showed growth through a t-shirt quilt. My quilt was made off all the t-shirts I have collected for over the years, from playing sports, family vacations, high school events, and the most important part of the quilt was the different college t-shirts that I had incorporated into the piece, because choosing a college was the most important part of my life at that time. This quilt had all the t-shirts I have worn throughout the years. It was a very physical form of how I grew as a person from elementary school to high school. I took the prompt that was given very literally. My fellow classmates' final projects were so diverse and different from one another because we all had different outlooks on the prompt. We had to brainstorm what growth meant to us personally. One of my classmates showed growth by making glass flowers. Another classmate made drawings of colonial houses. The different views on growth were limitless. The glass flowers took on this aspect of life around us and how it's always changing. The environment is always developing, even when we don't take time to notice it. The colonial houses showed how our way of living has evolved, and we no longer see the same houses with the same styles and decorations as the colonial houses everyone used to live in. Our housing styles are fitting our newer needs as we are evolving as a society. My quilt was a physical representation of my life and how I have changed as a person throughout the years. To have growth, you have to have change. My thought process changed toward the end of the year of my high school career because as seniors, you had to do a capstone project to graduate. This project was really open-ended, which scared me. I had no clue what I wanted to do my research on. I knew that I had to be very interested in this topic because we would be studying it for over half a year. Somehow, all my fellow classmates knew what they were researching about. Some chose their topics or interests that they had passions for. The topics ranged from special education and recycling to personal finance and human trafficking. I had no clue what I wanted to do. I had never had this experience in school where I got to choose what I wanted to study about, or so I thought. I suddenly got an idea. This project reminded me of my quilt prompt. The only reason why this topic felt so familiar to me was because of my art classes. The capstone prompt was an open-ended statement. I came to realize my fellow classmates were doing their capstones on their passions and interests that they had. My passion was art. In my capstone letter of intent, I stated I wanted to explore a career that I was interested in. Art education became my main idea. My capstone's main research question was, how does art affect a child's life? I would have never picked this topic if it wasn't for my art teachers. They made me reflect on what I've learned from them and how I've grown as a person. This made me think of why we should have art education in schools and how my art classes became an important role in my life. I finally found something I was passionate for. Art changed my life for the better. It relieved my stress. I would forget about my life outside of school. Everything became a blur. I could focus. I enjoyed the art-making process and the openness it allowed. My personal story and interaction with art fueled my research. I had never been so interested in a research project before. I did not want to stop searching, reading, and teaching others about my topic. It never got old to me. There's always something new to learn. When the end of the year came around, every senior had to present their capstones to their fellow classmates and faculty. Every capstone was so different from each other because of the open prompt. We all had the same rubric, we all had the same hours of work that we put in, but it's our different passions that we had for our research that made our work and every project stand out. Students can take a topic that they're interested in and passionate about to become successful in finding something that they love to learn about and to teach others about. I had never felt so engaged and interested in a project that I was required to do. This changed the way how I looked at learning and how art class had been beneficial to me. If it was not for my art classes, I would have never been prepared for my open capstone project. If we as teachers can incorporate this style of individualized research into everyday learning, we can help students find what they are passionate about. We want our students to feel like they can be themselves and express themselves the way they want to. My choice project I did with my t-shirt quilt changed the way I looked at education. I got to share who I was as a person and my interests. I was finally an individual. This project pushed me to become more interested in art education, which became my main focus for my capstone. If I did not do my capstone in art education, I probably wouldn't be here today sharing my story with you. Or who knows what career path I would have followed. So today, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Are you pursuing or learning about something that you're passionate for? Thank you.